DX5, and I would like to talk about decentralized frontends. So first, let's talk about the apps in general. What's the main value proposition of a D app? The D stands for decentralized. The idea behind that is that there is no single entity that runs the whole execution of the application. Instead, it is distributed across different nodes, depending on the type of the app that we're talking about. The good property about that is that it's censorship resistant, meaning that if somebody wanted to block access to the application, it would mean that it has to block access to the whole network, which is orders of magnitude more complex than if only a single entity is handling the application. But that sounds good, right? But it's not always the case, because many times for users to interact with applications, they need to go through a front end. The front end is the website, the user interface where users click and read the data and execute operations with the app. The problem is that these front ends are usually hosted in centralized cloud providers. It could be AWS, it could be Google Cloud. So if you need to go through the front end to access the app, that means that it is pretty easy to just go and block the front end, and in practice, you will be blocking access to the whole app. So how do we remove this single point of failure from the equation? What if we take the front end and we distribute it across different entities in a similar fashion as what we do with other launching components of the apps? So hold on to this thought. Let me first introduce Demeter. Demeter is a cloud hosting platform that we developed at DX5. You can think of it as something similar along the lines of AWS, but it's specific to Cardano. You have Cardano nodes, you have DB-Sync, you have Kube, all of the tools that you usually need to have when you're dealing with developing a Cardano app. And it also allows you to host front ends, which is nice. Now, this suffers from the same problem that other cloud providers, because there is only a single entity handling Demeter. In this case, it's us, DX5, a single entity that could be a single point of failure. So for Catalyst Fund10, what we are proposing is to onboard SPOs, which have a lot of experience handling infrastructure, so that we can distribute instances of this cloud hosting platform that we already developed, so that instead of DX5 being the only provider in the network, now we will have several entities, and DX5 will remain as a provider, but just one more of a larger number of entities handling all of the infrastructure. In that way, the app developers can deploy front ends and make sure that they will be handled in a distributed fashion. This is the team behind the proposal. We at DX5, we have a proven track record building open source tooling for the last 2 years in Cardano. This is what we are asking for. The main part of that will go into development, into an open source project that can be used and built on top of. But also there is a big chunk that will go into grants. The idea is that we will distribute these grants with the app developers so that they can get their front ends hosted in the system. So this is a win-win situation, because we will have free hosting for the app developers. We will have a new revenue stream for stakepool operators, and us as an ecosystem, we get to try out this new way to deploy contents in a distributed fashion. That's it for me. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or feedback, please reach out.